Walter Beach was a barnstormer, literally flying at county fairs and aviation circuses, doing barrel rolls and loop-the-loops. And he was an extrovert. He certainly enjoyed a good drink at the end of the day. He was kind of a, before he got married, he was Wichita's most eligible bachelor. Ollie Vann was, I think, and Mary Lynn may not agree with this, I don't know, I think that she was basically a shy person. There was a real element of shyness there, but she compensated for it superbly well with a sort of a backbone of steel. Walter was the kind of guy who pulled Ollie Vann into the swimming pool when they were having their engagement, a dinner celebrating their engagement. And Ollie Vann was the kind of woman who could stand up to Walter. The next day she went out and to the best stores in town and bought a ton of good clothing and jewelry to replace that which had been ruined, and sent him the bill. So I think that kind of sums him up in a way. This was, what, 1932 that he founded Beech Aircraft, and it was in the teeth of the Great Depression. And I would have thought, being a far more cautious person than Walter, I would have thought, okay, if you're going to start a business building airplanes in the teeth of the Depression, you'd build a cheap airplane that people could afford. But he really went the opposite direction and built sort of the Rolls-Royce of airplanes, the Model 17, the stagger wing.
This is this.
And it worked. He didn't have to sell a huge amount of these, but he did sell, and they sold for anywhere around $17,000 in 1932 money. But he could sell enough to oilmen, or oil magnates, to movie stars, and so on, that it enabled the company to flourish.
My favorite memory is going through the plant with my father. And so that was when I was younger than 10. But it was very special. We'd, walk through with him and see all the different kinds of production that was happening. And then we also got to sit on the secretary's lap and type. So those were fun childhood memories.
Walter, I think his great gift was an ability almost intuitively to sense what the market might want before the market knew it wanted it. And Ollie Vann, in turn, her great ability was administration and making decisions. She actually was a better businessman than he was. When he died in 1950, right?
That's correct.
She took over. And at first, she was one of the very first, maybe the very first woman running a big company. And the men tried to stage a coup, about a dozen of them, while she was in the hospital giving birth to Mary Lynn. But she had taken the precaution of having a direct line established next to her hospital bed. And she crushed the coup, kind of like the Kremlin might have crushed the coup in the old Soviet Union. And she turned out to be an excellent businesswoman with excellent instincts, and a kind of a sense of integrity that she would not cut corners. She would not. She would stand behind the buyers. If something broke, she would have it fixed at the company's own expense. The only thing she lacked, perhaps, was his instinct about what the market might want next, although that's sort of overstating it, because for decades, Beech continued to go from success to greater success under her. But most of the models tended to be sort of, to some extent, derivative of the previous models, and Beech never did make the jump into jet airplanes, and this perhaps was one of the few failings, or one of the few questionable things that happened under her administration.
But I think it's also important to say she was greatly involved in the company when my father died. She was secretary, treasurer, and as Dennis said, they started the company together. So Wasn't like she just stepped in
Right.
without any
Yeah, in fact,
previous
one
involvement.
One of the stories I like is that when Walter was in the process of forming the company, Ollie Vance said, "I want to be a partner, but I want to be paid. I want to be on have a salary. I'm not just going to donate my life to something without a salary." And she's very conscious of her worth and her prerogatives as a woman, and I, always, I think, in private, personal relationships with her friends, and in relationships at work, she was never lost consciousness of who she was, and that she occupied a pretty unique place. One of the stories I like about her is that she. It bothered her that workmen or people out on the plant floor were tracking in oily boots and steel shavings onto her expensive rug because her office was finished in French provincial style. Is that or?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so she posted a rule about a sign outside saying, "Please remove your shoes before coming in." Well, okay, the men did that. But then one day a group of Wichita matrons came to visit her. These were friends of hers. They saw the sign. They took their shoes off too. And that was kind of emblematic, I think, of the way the world responded to her. It did what she wanted. It went for another, 30 years, right, under her leadership. And only in 1980 was it merged with Raytheon. Raytheon purchased it. So she took it, and really, as big as it was under Walter, it became much bigger under her. She continued to, attract an ever larger group of customers.
How is the aviation business in Wichita and Kansas in general, since it was pretty big back then?
I'd say it was a very mixed bag. I mean, it's still our largest employer, and it's still, immensely important to Wichita. But there's been a lot of changes through the years, and I think there'll be more. But hopefully, we'll always remain the air capital of the world.